12 important topics that will save your relationship from collapse, but everyone ignores it. Yeah, 90% of all couples don't discuss these topics on principle. This is a direct path to quarrels, cheating, and divorce. You will learn how simple conversations can prevent disasters in your relationships, and also how to realize, even at the one date stage, that a person is right for you. Most importantly, I'll give you a list of all these 12 topics, examples of answers, what possible conflicts there may be in each of them, and how to solve every. So look carefully, write down each point and discuss it with your partner today. But before you start discussing each point, make your partner feel safe and comfortable to respond with what they really think, not what you want to hear. You can say like, let's play a game and discuss some interesting topics. I'm interested in your point of view. Look, I'll accept any answer you give and I want to understand you. So tell it like it is, okay? And of course, I will answer you these questions just as honestly and sincerely. So topic number 1 is values and life priorities. We need to understand what is important to each of you and how it will affect your life together. You can ask what values are most important to you in life? What do you need a relationship for? How do you see the balance between work and family? What priorities do you see as most important for you or for happiness in our life together? For example, a man can answer, for me, it is important to realize myself and my potential through my business, and this comes first. And family is an important pillar to achieve this. And a woman can answer that I value a career and independence too, but I do it for the sake of my family and our happiness. Relationships, family, and children are the main meaning of life for me. An example of conflict. One person values career, strives for professional growth, while the other person thinks it is more important to spend more time with family, which can cause resentment and feelings of lack of attention. An example of conflict resolution. Just make a list of priorities and discuss how many hours per week you are willing to devote to each of them. For example, if you work 40 hours a week, agree to set aside at least 10 hours a week to spend time with your family. A really important topic number 2 is children. We need to know if your views on the issue of children are the same. You need to ask questions like, how many children would you like to have and when? What is more important to you, having children now or waiting for a better time? How do you see the process of raising children in our family? A man might answer, I would like to have one child in a couple of years when we are more financially stable. And a woman might respond, I want 2 children and honestly, I want them right now. And this is a really nice example of conflict. One partner wants to have children, son, but the other is not ready or not sure he or she wants children at all, leading to disagreements and frustration, conflict, and so on. So the resolution might be, if you disagree on timing, agree that in 6 months, yeah, it's normal, you will talk about your plan for children again, and if the financial situation improves, yeah, you can consider having a child, and you can set a goal together to earn this amount of money by this date to ensure that you can have a child. Topic number 3 is a financial topic. Financial matters are often the cause of a lot of scandals. So it's important to understand in advance how you will manage money. You can ask questions like, how do you feel about keeping a family budget in Excel, for example? What financial goals will we have? What financial capital do we want to have in 5 years? Or what expenses are we willing to give up in order to save more money? Men might answer, I think it's important to save money and have a financial cushion of 6 months, for example, of our expenses for emergencies. And the woman might respond, I like to spend money on traveling, restaurants, and small weekly pleasures, and I'm not ready to give it up. And this is a nice example of conflict. Now, one is used to money spending on frequent shopping and entertainment, while the other prefers to save and invest in the future, which will cause quarrels and resentment. Conflict resolution might be like create common family budget based on your common income. And if total income is $10,000 per month, you can determine that 50% will be spent on all fixed expenses, 30% on savings, and 20% on entertainment, shopping, travel, and so on. Point number 4 is work and career. You know that work affects your life, where you live, how much time you spend together, and how you plan for the future. And you need to ask questions like, how do you see your career in 5 years? How much time are you willing to devote to work and how much to family? Or how do you feel about the possibility of changing jobs or moving to another country? And a man might answer, I want to build a career to provide for my family, but I realize that sometimes I will have to work overtime. A woman can respond that it's important for me to have a relaxed work schedule so that I can spend more time together. Example of conflict is, for example, one partner spends a lot of time at work and works overtime while the other waits for more time together, which causes arguments, resentment, and frustration. Conflict resolution is if one of you works 50 hours a week and the other works 30, agree that every Wednesday and Sunday you will spend 3 hours just the two of you, such as going for a walk, having dinner at the restaurant, or watching a movie, for example. Point number 5 is home responsibilities. We need to avoid conflicts and resentment over who does what around the house. You can ask questions like, how do you see the division of household chores? What is acceptable to you in terms of chores? And let's make a list of everything that needs to be done around the house, make a cleaning schedule, and divide up the chores. A man can say that I'm ready to take care of taking out the garbage, household repairs, but let's do grocery shopping together, for example. And women might respond as it's easy for me to do cleaning and cooking, but I want a house worker to come once a month and do general cleaning, and I will keep it clean further. That way I'll save 3 or 5 hours a week and we can spend more time together. Example of conflict. One partner may feel that all household chores fall on his or her shoulders and leading to irritation and arguments. Conflict resolution is to create a schedule for household chores. For example, if you want to divide responsibilities for the week, have one to you be responsible for taking out the trash, repairs, cleaning, and laundry for maybe 4 hours per week, and the other for cooking, and this is maybe for 5 or 6 hours a week, or as you see fit. Number 6, free time and hobbies. We need to understand each other's preferences and find a balance between time together and personal hobbies and personal time. You need to ask questions like, how do you prefer to spend your free time? What hobbies are important to you, and how much time per week do you want to devote to them? How do you see our time together in the future? And the man might answer that I need time to go to the gym 3 times a week for 2 hours, and a couple more hours to play video games on Sundays. And the woman might respond that I love yoga and Friday night get-togethers with my girlfriends, but I want us to have regular dates. An example of conflict when one likes active weekends while the other partner likes to relax at home. Different expectations can lead to resentment and arguments. So conflict resolution is playing time during the week for spending time together, personal hobbies, and separate activities. For example, set aside 2 evenings a week for shared dinners and 2 evenings for everyone to pursue their hobbies alone. This will create the right balance of personal space and shared time, which will greatly reduce conflict. Number 7, relationships with parents and in-laws. We need to agree on how often and in what format meetings with relatives will take place. You can ask questions like, how often do you want to see your parents? How do you feel about spending time with our family? How do you see our family's role in our lives? A man may respond that I'm used to seeing my parents on weekends and it's important to me. A woman might respond that I need my privacy and I don't want anyone to interfere with. Example of conflict is one partner frequently invites parents to visit and the other feels that this violates their personal space, which can cause stress and resentment. So conflict resolution is established that shared visit with in-laws will be 1, maybe 2 times a month on Saturdays. And if your partner wants to see them more often, he can go to them alone. And for example, 1-2 times a month you will go to his or her parents' house and spend the rest of the weekend alone with friends or separately to periodically reboot from each other. Number 8 is conflicts and how to resolve it. 100% ideal partner doesn't exist. There will inevitably be conflicts, so it's important to understand and agree in advance how each partner prefers to discuss and resolve conflicts in order to better understand and adapt. You can ask questions like, how do you usually act in conflicts? How do you prefer to resolve conflicts? What is important to you in the process of discussion problems? How do you feel about compromise in conflict situation? And a man can respond as follows. If a problem arises, it's important for me to talk and solve it right away without postponing it. Otherwise, I will get tense and become more aggressive. And a woman may respond, I prefer to get out of the situation first and cool down, and after things through, and once I've calmed down, then I can start discussing and solving the problem. And this is a nice example of conflict. One partner wants to discuss the problem right away, while the other partner prefers to take a break. And this can cause a feeling that one partner is ignoring and the other is pushing. And conflict resolution is you can use cooling off time technique. For example, after an argument, one of you might leave the other for maybe 1 hour, maybe 30 minutes to think about the situation before talking again. Or you can go on 15 minutes jog and discuss problems with your new, fresh thoughts afterward. Point number 9 is intimate relationships. The issue of sex is an important part of a relationship, and it's important to understand each other's needs. You can ask questions like, how do you see our intimate relationship? What is important to you in intimacy? How many times a week would you like it? And so on. And a man may respond that I usually want to have sex 2 times a week, but during busy periods at work, I may want to have sex 4 or even 5 times a week. And also, variety is important to me. A woman might respond that it's important to me to have sex 3 times a week, but I don't want experimentation or variety. The classic are enough for me. An example of conflicts when one partner may want a more active, intimate life, while the other prefers less activity, which can cause resentment and conflicts. So we need to conflict resolution, like discussing intimacy, and this is process that requires openness and trust. You can agree to discuss your desires and preferences on a regular basis so that everyone feels comfortable. Specific advice won't do here. You should always look at your situation holistically and know the context. Point number 10 is moral standards. We need to make sure the ideas of right and wrong are aligned. You can ask questions like, how do you feel about religion? What moral values are important to you? How do you feel about situations where our views don't match? What do you think are our obligations to each other and to other people? A man may respond as, I believe in God, I go to church twice a week, and it's important for me to do my best for the comfort of the family, but I'm demanding that everyone fulfills their obligations. And the woman might respond, I don't believe in God, and I don't go to church, and constant family obligations make me depressed, so I have enough obligations at work, and so on. And this is a really nice example of the conflict. If one partner has a more, for example, liberal outlook on the life, and the other more conservative, this can cause disagreements and tension. So conflict resolution is discuss the moral principles that are important to you, and trying to find compromise in each moral standard of you. For example, if one thinks it's important to help others and the other thinks it might not be safe, you can find common ground. You can help loved ones and donate money to charities, but not help homeless people on the streets. Point number 11 is lifestyle. We need to see how compatible you are in your habits, schedule, and lifestyle. You need to ask questions like, how do you see your ideal lifestyle? What does your day usually look like? What habits do you have in place? How do you feel about changes in your lifestyle if they affect our relationship? A man may tell you that I always wake up at 6 a.m., meditate and go for a run. And then I work from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. After that, I do my startup until 6 p.m. and then I usually play video games or watch a TV series. After that, I go to bed at 10 p.m. And on weekends, I prefer to be alone in a peace of my home. And a woman may answer that I don't get up before 10 a.m. because I go to bed at 2 a.m. I work remotely, so I don't have a clear schedule. On weekends, I prefer active vacations, meetings with friends and girlfriends, and so on. And this is a nice example of conflict. If one partner wants to spend time outdoors and the other prefers to stay at home, this can lead to resentment and a lot of conflicts. So, nice conflict resolution is find a common compromise, like schedule time for active weekends and quiet evenings. For example, one weekend could be spent outdoors and the other at home. And the last point is future. We need to make sure you have similar goals for the future. How do you envision our future together in 10 years? What dreams and goals do you have for the future? How do you feel about the idea of planning our future together? And a man may respond, I see our future in a stable life with our own home, 2 dogs, and 3 children. Woman may respond that it's important for me to travel and explore the world before we start a family. And it's a nice example of conflict. If one person wants stability while the other prefers freedom and adventure lifestyle. And this can be a source of tension. And conflict resolution is make a plan for a future together that includes both stability and the opportunity to travel. For example, if one partner used to travel 4 times a year and the other doesn't like to travel outside of city, you can agree on a compromise of 2 trips per year. So now you can discuss all these 12 important topics with your partner. You need to create your common strategy and adapt beliefs for each other. And then your relationship will be the happiest it's ever been. And I look forward to your comments on your results. See ya.